So
a lot of it.
It's like a slutty version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome everyone to the first episode and first recording of the ICBG WowCast. I'm your host, Rai, Holy Priest. With us today, we have a panel of guildies from the Icecream Bikini Girls, Horde Guild on Proudmoore. First, we have up our GM, a snarky shadow priest from the land down under, Try Hard.
Greetings and g'day, guys.
Oh, she said good day. We're special. All right. Next, I'm not sure what's frostier, her personality, her mage skills, or her beer. It's Horisha.
Hey, y'all.
Next, we have a holy pally that brings a new meaning to the lore master title. He's also that dude that's in Discord even when he's not playing. Lucy.
Heyo.
And finally, we basically have WoW's hallmark player, an old man that only plays tunes that are hot chicks. It's Fury Warrior Candy.
Yep.
All right. Well, as I said, we are a guild on the Proudmoore server. We decided one day after a lifetime of listening to these WoW podcasts that we wanted to do one ourselves, so we put one together. Let's start, guys, just with a real quick recap of the things that we've been working on. Let's hear from Try. Try, what have you been doing this week in game?
This week in game, I have been running around like a crazy person. I've been trying to finish off some achievements I probably should have done a really long time ago, getting mounts, the meta ones. So lucky that Rara and Horisha and Candy and a few other people have been helping me out with that. But I'm more of like, I've got to get other things done before beta.
Well, how's the plumbing going, Try?
The plumbing might be back later. I've been in a rental and we've had to have the plumber come over for the toilet and the dishwasher, and he has to keep coming back because he doesn't have staff or permission or authorization. So hopefully that'll be all over soon.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Oh my God.
And we've been making Try's getting her plumbing looked at, and he's coming to fix Try's plumbing jokes like for a whole week now. So.
And we're filming this at American nighttime, so it's the middle of the day for me, and the other half's away, so they're getting very excited whenever the plumber comes over.
Wow.
Yes, some of us more than others.
Well, Horisha, let's move on to you. What have you been working on this week in game?
Trying to stay ahead of all the other people in achievements that are trying to chase me, and the ones that are a little bit ahead of me, and finally got my missing quest that I was on to finish working on Terragosa.
Terragosa, what's that? Is that the staff
That's
you were
the
telling me
staff
about?
that turns you into a dragon. It's
Oh.
Smexy.
Ooh, wow. Okay. How about you, Lucy?
Good answer.
Typical Lucy.
That is typical Lucy. He's normally in Discord with us and then sometimes doesn't talk. Lucy,
I'm here. Sorry.
what have you been working on?
Anyways, this week really just working on some achieves, but I'm playing the beta mostly. Stuck on that really. But as far as the live servers go, I mean, I did this side up this morning, so I'm glad I finished that. That took forever. Just waiting on, the chance of getting the quest that I need to finish the achieve. I assumed that I was going to finish it last week, but they ended up giving me the same guy in Suramar, and I got the same quest like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
But I ended up finishing it.
Well, I this side up was one. Congrats, man, because that's a long quest line. That's one that I know I was going to be working on, but then Candy told me, well, you're not going to get all of them done in time. So I kind of gave up on it, but I loosely just started again. But really glad to hear you got it, because that's a hard one to get. Now you just need to get the Mage Tower appearance.
Oh, screw the Mage Tower.
I haven't even been in that Mage Tower yet.
I don't like it.
I've been harassing Lucy, Try, and Horisha for like...
Brian's telling me to do it, and I know it's
weeks.
like on the bucket list of things because they're going to take it away when it's coming out, but
I'm begging them for weeks
I'm not doing it.
All right, Candy, what about you? What have you been working on
I don't
this
need
week?
it that bad.
Well, let me see. I've got all 3 of my Mage Tower appearances for my warrior. And let me tell you that. Shush you. let me tell you that Prot Warrior appearance is far harder than any like Healy appearance you can imagine. Because I'm sure there's going to be some, priest out there talking about how tough it is to get their priest appearance. Yeah, they can bite me. I ran
fired
across the bow, sweetheart. And I've been running around in beta quite a bit, because beta's where all the cool guys hang out. And doing odds and ends here and there. I don't really have any huge plans for the rest of live because it's over.
Because he has all the mounts. And
Candy has everything.
Not everything.
He's been there and done that.
He's got 3 120s on the beta. He's not on live anymore.
Well, all right. So what I've been working on this week, because we've got, we will get to the beta check. Trust me. I've been working on this week. I've got a couple achievements. I finally decided to go back and get all of those stupid Lore Master achievements in Pandaria where you have to find all the scrolls. I did that last night because I've been meaning to do that on my main for quite a while. And I also got Archaeology to 800 on my priest, which was a slog.
About time.
I know, right? It's just that's the only one. That's the only one I didn't get. After I got a first aid to 800 and all of that, that was by far harder. I've also worked on getting the field medic title. I finally got that, which was also a slog, and I know it's on several of your lists.
Still working on that crap.
I know. And then I did the Mage Tower challenge for my Fire Mage. This is after, and my Shadow Priest. The Priest obviously being my main as Holy. Shadow was really, really hard for me just because I very rarely play the spec. But I mean, it was fun to finally get it over and get all 3 appearances on my priest. And yeah, Candy refers to me because every time the Holy Priest Tower challenge comes up, I tell everyone how hard it was. That's because it was pretty much the hardest thing I've ever done in the game. That's why I want Lucy to do the Paladin one, so I have someone to commiserate with on how difficult it is.
It's the exact same scenario too.
It's the same scenario, different toolkit for moves.
Yeah, I don't know. They say it's easier for me to do. I've done it a couple times. I'm not getting back in there just right now.
I mean, I'm not gonna even pretend that I one shot the Holy Priest one like Candy would want me to. It was hard. I did that for the better part of several days, just on repeat. And I farmed nether shards for 2 weeks to get enough to get the just to know I had a comfortable amount of them for trial and error on the Holy Priest one. So the challenge on that one was the one where you have to go in and heal all the ghosts and fight the ghosts, and it was just Jared Shadowsong and Granny Marl and some rogue girl whose name I can't remember. But Granny Marl is trying to tank things as a hunter, wearing cloth gear. So is what it is.
That's a true to life LFG group.
That's the thing I can't get about the healer challenge, guys. The tank is a fury warrior, I think, or an arms warrior. He's not even in prot spec. The rogue stands in nearly everything there is to stand on, and then manages to always be in front of enemies. And then the hunter takes aggro off of everybody and is wearing cloth gear. Yet, the healer is expected to not only attack mobs, but CC and keep everyone alive. And when one of them stands in something and dies, it's the healer's fault that the group wipes.
This sounds like stupid Proving Grounds.
It's like Proving Grounds 7.0. That's how hard it was in comparison. All right, so now we've talked about what we've done this week. Let's talk about the things that we want to do. I'll start real quick. I know for me, it's not just Legion stuff I've got on my bucket list. I've got some other stuff. I'm working on getting some fishing achievements because those are things that I never really did back in the day. Now that I've got the mount from Pandaria, I'm working on the second Nat Pagle mount out of Draenor. I'm exalted with him, and I still need to fish up these 100 stupid coins. And what really gets me is about this. If you guys have done it, I think you guys all have the red water strider, right?
Nat Pagle's a bitch.
I do not have the red water strider. I have the crimson water strider.
Okay, thank you.
I have not one of those, the Azure.
You've got the blue one from Pandaria.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's all I got.
That's what I got.
Okay. So in Draenor, you have to fish up all the rare fish to get Nat Pagle to even like show up. And then you got to go get these things for Nat Pagle so he stays. And then you got to go get these fish for him, 100 of these fish to buy. You have to become exalted with him, best friends, which I did in Pandaria, thank God. But once you're best friends with him, you can then buy the mount off of him for 100 coins, which means you have to fish up 100 lunkers. And while you're fishing in Draenor, he comes up and critiques and criticizes how you're fishing. Like, that one looks small. You should throw that one back. Oh, you know what I find really helpful? Beer. He's an alcoholic piece of shit.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with that.
they should have just made it a requirement to be best friends. You have to give him a case of Bud Light.
Can I just blow him?
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
I'm just saying, I will give him a little afternoon delight to be best friends with him and not have to go through all that work. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, he's a bat. I can't stand him.
He's a bastard. He's awful.
He is.
He's not even at my fishing shack in that stupid garrison.
Where's he
Yeah,
at?
but you know, at the end of the day, he's the guy you want to go party with because it'll be funny and he'll be passing out booze. You guys are just a bunch of crumb dungeons.
Oh my God.
That's Candy's. We're swear to God, we're gonna have to add up a part of this section of this podcast of like the word list of Candy mispronunciations. That's one
No,
of them.
we don't.
Curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon is a word, baby.
Crumb dungeon is not a word.
Crumb dungeon.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That is a dungeon for people that have crumbs.
Oh, I misheard. I'm sorry.
But beyond that Pagle and wanting to kill myself with a fishing pole, I'm also you guys have seen most of my list. I've going back and doing old stuff like working to get some Epicurean awards to buy that stupid chef's hat. I'm keeping up with my Legion fishing. I'm doing my missions as normal. I've got a couple pieces of transmog I'm hunting down and some old mounts I'm hunting down as we go. The only cool thing I've really picked up, and I know a lot of people have done it already, but I'm working on the Shadowmourne quest line with my paladin to get Shadowmourne, and I'm finally on to like the final quest, I think, which is like get the 50 shards for doing the ICC with your paladin. But
That's not the final quest, dude.
if I went robotic.
Do you get all your recipes of that stupid Nomi in current expansion?
I don't even want to talk about Nomi. Try.
Nomi burns my food too much.
Nope. I can't. I don't have it in my heart to talk about Nomi.
There is no tips for Nomi.
I was gonna say I don't think you're done with that Shadowmourne quest yet because I did it, and there's a little more to it.
Oh, great! More! Yay! Another chance at Invincible, though, right?
Well, don't. Yeah, right. But don't do what I did and sell them out because you only get one shot at it unless you.
Why would you sell them out?
Because it was going for a lot.
It's going for 450K right now.
I don't give a crap. Don't sell them out.
Well, the mount's that's not invincible, right? That's just a mount
like
that
the
comes
Death
out of
Knight.
your gift bag.
Yeah, it's like the Death Knight mount. Ooh, whoopity.
Oh, you're not talking about Invincible.
No. You can't sell
Okay,
that.
you gave me palpitations.
No, you can't sell that. He's soulbound when you get him.
I thought so. I was wondering what you're talking about.
No, it's the Crimson Death Chargers, the DK mount that's like red.
Yeah, I don't have a DK. I don't know about them things.
Yeah, but for 450K, I might be willing to part with. You also get a choice of a toy as well, and those go for quite a lot on the auction house as well.
What kind of toy?
There were like 4 choices: Muradin, something from Muradin that turns you into an Iron Dwarf, or one of the Frost Dwarves. Sylvanas' music box that plays that song. If you've ever done the quest, which Lucy is the perfect tie-in for later when we talk about the comic, but you get this locket that you have to bring back to Sylvanas as part of the starting quests in Ghostlands for as Blood Elf. But you get this locket that you turn into her, and these ghosts appear and sing like the Lament of the Cinderai. The music box actually summons ghosts that sing that song, which is kind of cool.
Oh, I was not aware of that. Cool.
But that's really the big thing on my list for things I'm working on. It's a neat quest line. I really enjoyed it so far. It is pretty involved, but I imagine that's kind of what it was like. Very time gated as far as like how it was back in the day. Since you did it, Lucy, I figured you would know more about that. But what about you, Lucy? What are you working on this week? What's the next stuff that you're working on, like your bucket list?
Oh, geez. I'm not. I mean, the one thing I think after I did the this side up, I'm glad I finished that finally. I mean, like I said, it took forever. But the one thing after that is probably the PvP appearance, just because I'm a slacker when it comes to PvP. So that's the one that I do not have besides Mage Tower.
How do you get the appearance?
You have to get Prestige level 1 and then get to Honor level 50 after you've passed Prestige level 1. So you pretty much have to go 2 times to level 50 on your Honor level. And I'm at 41 past Prestige level 1, so I'm almost there. But that's all I'm really working on. Not really doing any achieves anymore. And contrary to popular belief, I do have alts, not just Lucinos. And I got that Druid to 110. And I'm working on trying to gear him out just a little bit, just so he's kind of ready for BFA. I'm not going to go crazy on it. But that and I guess that Nightborn Warrior, but I think I wasted my boost, like big time.
I hadn't even fooled with those guys.
I'm not a warrior. I mean, Horisha's more of a warrior than me.
Oh my gosh, that is so fun!
Horisha, I already know that's gonna be on her list.
Oh yeah, I'm still working on her. I think she's 65 now. I'm slowly working, but Warrior is so much fun compared to Mage because I like get to jump into action instead of standing back, but I can still zoom out, which is awesome for me. I don't like having ass in my face. So I can do that. I can, do my jump and all that stuff, and it's awesome.
I mean, so like for those of you guys, context on this, Horisha, who I just met in real life at Disney World last week. So
Yay!
Not only have we been besties in game, but we got to meet in real life and spend a whole day at the Disney World together. My dogs love her already, which is kind of fun.
I know where he lives.
She knows where I live. So
Just saying.
If my apartment burns down tomorrow, you'll know that I said something in this podcast to piss off Horisha.
No, it's going to be those little kids outside playing either Cowboys and Indians or Dominatrix.
Yeah, there were like little kids running around tonight with like a walkie-talkie and like a host of handcuffs. And this one little girl was like, "I'm going to cuff you." And I said when we were prepping, I was like, they're either playing, cops and robbers or Who's the Dominatrix. So, or America's next top dominatrix. So
It's going to be hard finding a parking spot to come burn your place down, baby. That's the downside.
All right, that's what it is. But like Horisha has played mage since the dawn of time. She has been a frost mage. So like we were joking in raid one night, like what's something Horisha should give a try? And someone's like, haha, Fury Warrior. And she did. And she's loving it, which is so funny. It's like the loudest, most obnoxious class.
I'm like, rawr! It's fun.
What else are you working on other than leveling the warrior?
I told you the Terragosa staff. Working still upon keeping achievements ahead of other people. Cough, cough.
Oh, yes, you mean Duran. One of our guild officers is like breathing down her neck and achievement.
Well, no,
points.
I just busted past him a good bit, so trying to catch up.
How
with
many
the other
achievement points
people.
do you have?
It depends. If you look at the achievement on the guild thingy that you press the Y button for, I've got 20,800. And if you look at the actual achievement points in guild, I've got 18,930.
Wow.
She's currently sitting at 3.
I'm an achievement hoe.
I'm currently sitting at 6. I only just made 6 the other day, so I can't get too excited.
Wow. Oh, we'll try. I'm imagining achievements is on your list. What are you working on?
Well, I could do achievements, but I also want to finish off and get like the mage class hall mount and all those other ones because I'm like, oh, I should do it. No, get distracted. So I really need to knock them out just to have them done. So mage, the one, I got a hunter, I got a monk, and my 2 little 110s are a chamois and a paladin. So I need to get all their mounts.
That's a lot of stuff. So you're an alcoholic, just like Candy is, I know.
A what-aholic?
Yeah,
Alcoholic.
definitely.
You have lots of alts.
Yeah, I like playing alts because sometimes I just get over my Shadow Priest. I'm just like, look, I'm just not feeling it today. So it's good to bounce onto other classes because then when you come back, you feel a bit more refreshed, and also you might play differently on that other class. And when you come back, you adjust your own style. I like that part.
Well, we'll have to get you through Mage Tower on at least Disc and Shadow. I'm gonna harass you.
I mean, this time around, the Mage Tower's just gone down.
She's scared of it.
Everyone said how horrifying it was. Oh, it was in there, and 5 times it was up before they downed it, and each day they go in and like 100 times, it feels like. Make sure you got drums and food, and oh my god, it just sounds like annoying.
Don't have that kind of dedication.
Lucy, you gotta just give it a shot. I mean, come on. Garrett at this point.
I've done it more than 20, 30 times before, and I don't have the dedication to do it like you did that day and just repeatedly beating my head against the wall. But yeah, and I get stuck, on that same part that you're talking about. But because it gets to the point where you just can't. They're just standing in too much stuff. You just can't really heal it unless you are just everywhere at once. And as well as I do with the Holy Pally, I have to be right next to them, or else they're not going to get maximum heal. So.
Yeah, that's the fun part about that, I guess. All right, last but not least, Candy. I know your list is probably going to be a lot shorter since you're mostly transitioned to just beta at this point.
Well, there's still some things I might be interested in doing. Like I do my weekly runs of ICC because Invincible is ridiculous. It's like how many times can you beat your head against the wall on Invincible?
Yeah, like the
And
time
I do
once a week.
like the time I tried to take Rye to his gravesite, but he called me stupid.
Once a week for like years, and then I'm also doing the Black Tower so I can get the other stupid
the what?
The Black Tower. You need to calm yourself, Rye.
I heard something else.
Of course you did. Well, what did you hear, Rye? Let's talk about that.
Let's leave that where it lies. Don't get uppity, Candy. Don't get uppity.
Don't get it. Calm down. Don't be calling me uppity.
I know, Candy, you've been working on ICC. I think you're also on Shadowmourne too with one of your characters, aren't you?
Yeah, that's another one that I've been dealing with that one since Wrath, but I just kind of like lost patience with it, and I think we were at the end of Wrath when we did it anyway. So it was like, yeah, we're not going back into Ice Crown Citadel again. It's like, so I still got the stupid sword, and I still need to get the 2 deaths from killing my other groupies with me, which is a fun part. It's like, hey, I got this other holy priest here. I'm just gonna splat him and kill him. Kind of makes you laugh a little bit. And
Candy's also gotten all the rep mounts from this expansion. All those annoying ones. I still need 3 of them, but he's already got all that, so he's got plenty of time.
Well, that's my story to tell. Leave me alone. And then I got let's see what things I'm not doing. I'm not buying that friggin' ugly, hideous mount that's 500,000 gold. I don't even get it. It's uglier than the one from the.
You mean the Lightforged Warframe on the Vindicar?
Yeah. What's the point of that thing? No, that can sit in the bank.
It's a flying robot.
It's a status symbol. It's like, why do people buy Bentleys and everything else when a Honda will get you to the same place?
And I still do work on mounts, mostly just so I can get past. I'm at the 250 mount collection thing because that's where all the cool guys are, and that's about what I do. Every now and then I'll go PvP and like watch the horde fail continuously, and then whine about it.
I'm trying to figure out who these cool guys are you keep talking about.
Well, if you're not me, and you don't know, then you're not.
Hey, there you go.
Okay, so I guess we've covered what we've done, what we're working on. Let's see. I've got looking at the list. We are going to talk about the beta check. So let's go ahead and move on to that. I know that there are a couple of us that are in the beta. I know Lucy and Candy have been playing quite a bit. I have played a bit, tried out some Holy Priest and some Fire Mage in the beta. But you guys have played, like, we're well beyond. I'm like 112 and got frustrated with all the bugs. So how's it been going for you guys? Stay away from the spoilers if we can, but just how are things playing?
I looked at it, watched my child play it for a level, and have not logged on personally myself.
Oh, well, see, we didn't even know you had it.
She had
I've
alpha
had it
access.
I've had alpha and beta.
Well, damn.
Why weren't you playing it? Was there something wrong with it, or you just didn't feel like it?
No, I was more focused on enjoying the guild company and doing raiding with y'all.
Yay!
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
Kenny,
I
you
feel
want
so loved now.
to go first, Kenny? You got more to talk about than me on it.
Well, to stay away from spoilers, and I don't want to be all crumb dungeony on it. So what I'll talk about is that I think, by and large, they've done a good job. They've worked extra hard on putting humor into the game. You'll be going through here and you get these silly little quests and it'll be like, oh, that was funny, which is better than just a boring, mindless slog. I think the quest lines tend to run pretty smoothly, and it's instead of like running from one side of the zone to the next side of the zone for convergent quests, it's just like they're in a row or they're in an area where you can just go through there and knock them all out and work towards getting to end game stuff like heroic dungeoning and mythic dungeoning and eventually raiding. So I like the way they did that. My problems, and I'm not really going to rant too hard on it, is the way Bonsombi tends to come in and resurrect bugs. It's like they'll have something fixed a week ago, the game will be playing fine, and it'll show back. The same bug will show back up. And then the other minor rant is people that should not have access to beta. You got these ass hats, sorry about the swear words there, that find a bug, a silly glitch. Like right now, there's the permanent AoE bug, which means that the local fire mage and his buddy, the frost mage, can sit there and dump their AoE buffs and just keep stacking it until it will basically crash other people's computers.
Oh, so I can do that?
Not unless you play the beta. So there you go.
I've got beta. Can I do that? Can I crash your computer?
You can probably crash Rise computer, but you won't crash mine.
What kind of computer you got?
A better computer than you have.
That's not what I said. What kind of computer do you have?
Oh, he's like going after everybody tonight.
Dang.
I have an Alienware laptop.
Oh my God, you're an alien, dude. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
I listen. If I had an Alienware laptop, I'd be all about it. So that's
If I
a
had
good
the
laptop.
money for Alienware, I'd do it. But I've got an iBuyPower custom built for me.
Well, that sounds kind of fancy.
It's very fancy.
Better than my rig.
Lucy, how about you with the beta? Anything else? Or Candy, I'm sorry, was there anything else that you were kind of observing?
No, I was about to ask Lucy what he thought about the beta.
Well, for anybody that is on there and everything, Bonsomdi is the low of death, by the way. He kind of just threw that out there. I echo everything that Candy said. Is just that, this is a beta. They're still going to do it all the way up until the day of launch. There are going to be bugs, hot fixes, things like that. The mage thing, I didn't even know about that one. I guess that just happened today or within the last 24 hours or so. But, I mean, the quest lines, like you said, they run really smooth. They don't run you all over the joint. I mean, they reposition you pretty well as far as the storyline goes and the chapters. Now, what I would suggest for people fixing to play BFA, or if you're even starting the beta, there is a certain order that the zone should go in, and you won't really know that because they kind of give you the freedom to go where you want. But there's an order that it should go in, just because the last zone there are a lot of side quests. Because once you hit 120, I don't want to say it plateaus, because it doesn't really plateau, because you're going to start doing rep grinds, normals, heroics, mythics, until the raid comes out. So, and that's what Candy's on right now. I think he's almost mythic geared on one of his tunes at least. But they have a lot of side quests there, just for like little toys, some other pieces of gear that maybe will help you out if you're not getting any drops in normal or whatnot. But it helps out a little bit. I think my Pagle is 120 right now. I'm like one eye level shy of heroics, and I just keep doing the world quest. The world quests are like the best place to get gear if you're not getting anything from normals, or you just don't want to run normals and you don't want to be with a bunch of idiots or asshats like Candy said. But other than that, it's good. I don't have any problems with it. There are little bugs here and there. I know, Rye, you had a little bit harder time than us with some of the bugs.
I want to touch on that, because I know you guys have been playing it and it's been largely, playable for you guys.
Yeah.
I just got beta access a week ago, and I'm looking at it like it is June 5th. We are, I want to say, what is it, 2 months away, 2 months and 9 days away from the launch of this expansion. And to me, beta access, once this is like alpha level bugs that I saw like through the opening quest line to things. I couldn't even get through the opening quest line on my main character when I created it on the beta. I had to log out and redo the scenario, I think 2 or 3 times, and then like pray that nothing bugged it out the third time I did it. And I finally got through it. Like, I think I glitched my way through it. It was going to kill me because I had to, it DC'd me, and I had to log back in, and I was in the middle of like a pool of green goo, and I like healed myself through it as I'm running through the green goo to catch up to where Sylvanas was. But like, it's just, to me, it's an unacceptable level of bugs for a game that's launching in 2 months. I actually worry about the launch date being the launch date with the level of bugs that I see in the game right now.
And it will be, and it's going to be a total shitfest, pardon my French, because everyone's going to be on trying to do the quest. It's going to be server laggy. And honestly, I normally wait a week before I try and do the new stuff.
But like to what he's saying is like the bugs that he experienced, and he got on on a really bad day, or it was like really laggy. The cast times were like 5 seconds behind everything. You couldn't really move at all or speak or anything like that. So it was really bad. I saw it. I know Candy was on there. He was on there for like 3 days straight and couldn't log out, and had to alt F4 to log out. But,
oh no.
Yeah, but these bugs and stuff like that, they'll come and go, and they're always fixing them and stuff. I'm not really worried about the launch date, and they're not gonna change it. They've had that launch date up there for what, 4 or 5 months now, so it's not changing. They're just trying to add too much at one time so that everybody can test it out and see what they're going to keep. Because like I said, they put a new spell animation for my Holy Light, and they took it away. So I don't even think they're going to put it in there. They just said, hey, we're going to scrap it. It's not important.
Well, in Rye's case, of course, whenever he logs in, Blizzard puts the Mage Tower in front of him. So every quest is basically the Mage Tower for him.
Right.
I'm never going to live this up. Candy and I got in a very large debate over like what was harder, the Holy Priest Mage Tower or the Tank Mage Tower for Prot Warrior. And I point to online comments where the Healer Mage Tower was a lot more involved than a majority of the others. I know tanking's also a job. It's hard. But remember what they say. Tanking is a job. DPS is a science, and healing is an art. So what that tells me is if it was hard for Candy, he's just really bad at his job.
Wait, hard? What?
Well, that's why I finished it in one attempt.
Must be
yes.
freaking nice. Okay.
He didn't finish it in one attempt. That's a
Try
bold-faced
it as a
lie.
frost mage. What do you have? I can't even do it. I don't even want to think about it.
He's done the twins. That's the one
I
Try
am-
needs to do for Shadow Spec.
I am so seriously considering finding a good friend, logging onto their computer, and let them do the skills, and hopefully wishing for the best.
Speaking of good friends, I just want to call out. Lucy said something to me before we recorded tonight, and I thought it was
What?
super nice. He is trying to win a beta key for Try.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of streams in my spare time. You know, I watch like Tally, Bajira, and like Asmongold and stuff like that. And right now, a lot of the keys are coming out now. So they're doing like 200, 300 key giveaways and stuff like that. Even Wowhead's doing stuff like that. So I'm just trying to get in there so we can get some more guildies on there, because it feels like it's just me and Candy most of the time. And then, you know, we have one other guild member that joins every once in a while, which is Fab. But and Rye, he tried to play, and I know you did a little bit of Nazmir. I mean, do you want to talk about your questing experience at least?
I thought the questing experience was cool in Nazmir. I don't want to give away spoilers and anything I can say about it that I really liked might be spoiler. But it's also hard too, because you main a healer and I main a healer, and neither of us ever wants to give that up to play with the other. So
but my healer class, I mean, as far as questing experience goes, because I was going to hit on this, is that my questing experience is probably going to be a little bit to a lot easier than yours was, just because they brought us back to Mason Shield. So I have a little bit more survivability plus heals and damage, whereas you're still wearing cloth. So it's going to be a little bit of, you know, it's going to be
I
a
don't
little
think
bit
I'll ever not be wearing cloth.
Right.
But
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
here's the thing about doing that. It's like, use your different specs. If you're at a hard spot and it's tough to get through, and you're a holy priest, then drop the holy priest, go into what's the stupid one that puts the bubbles on everybody?
Disc. It's not stupid. Disc is actually pretty
Disc.
fun.
I need that one.
Then hop into disc and kill it. I mean, I do the same
all
shit.
my
It's like, if
macros.
it's beating me up on my Fury Warrior, which pretty much everything kills a Fury Warrior. And it's, it's like, okay, I've had enough time beating my head against the wall, and I'll hop into pot and beat it.
Candy,
Well,
we know everything kills a Fury Warrior.
Okay,
we raid with you.
beating it. Ryan.
But, yeah.
What the hell have I seen on my computer that talks about like ERP? What the hell is that? Explain this to me, please.
I am not the guy to explain this to you. This is something that someone in our guild, actually our sound guy and our production guy, Rasputin, he mentioned something about ERP the other night in our guild Discord when we were talking, and we didn't really talk a lot about it with Horisha. Lucy, I'm gonna let you take this one, because this is fucking
Do I have to
ridiculous.
Google this?
Well, time for a disclaimer here.
I'm actually kind of, embarrassed that I'm the one that knows and nobody else knows about
Do I
it.
have to Google this?
Well, wait a second.
Hold on.
Before we do this, we got to put out a disclaimer here. So if parents are letting their kids listening to us say fuck and whatnot on
Well, you just said it.
Too late.
on this podcast, now might be a good time to take your kids away.
There's your disclaimer, bitches. Okay, what the hell is ERP?
I'm not going to go into
Exotic
details.
something? What?
No, I'm not going to go into details with it, Candy. So, but yes, turn the kids away. Anyways, no, it's not electronic role play like Rye was trying to feed you last night. No,
What is it?
It's erotic role play.
So it's like Moonguard on steroids.
Well, that's what they do. That's what Moonguard, Wormrest Accord, when you go into those inns and things like that.
Wait, Wormrest Accord has the same thing?
It's an RP server.
I thought it was just Moonguard.
No, there are a lot of RP servers on WoW.
Oh my God! So they sit there and talk about sex and stuff.
Horisha, why do you think the inns have rooms?
Yeah, that's why Moonguard.
Because there's people sleeping on the beds.
Well, Moonguard is usually the most notorious for that kind of stuff, and I mean, there's still people that do it to this day. They're probably doing it right now as we're
I've
talking.
watched my kid play on Moonguard, and she's never in Goldshire. Is this Goldshire?
I mean, it's anywhere where there's a lot of ends. Like if she's playing Horde, I would
No,
say,
she's playing Alliance, but I monitor
Oh,
what
okay.
she plays. But still,
yeah.
are these
I would
like,
s-
oh my
stick to-
God, they're talking about doing stuff?
Stick to the
Mhm.
cities. Stick to the cities if she's playing like Stormwind or Dalaran, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
she does.
Yeah, don't go into like little towns like Goldshire and stuff like that. If you're Horde, stay in Silvermoon. That's probably like the best place to be on an RP server.
So this is like S&M stuff.
But yeah, I'm
No,
unclear as
I'm a
to what
nurse.
this.
I need to know these things. Come on now.
No,
Come on.
it's like
I mean, is
Lucy,
this like-
Lucy, hold on. I need you to explain a little bit more what this means because I know what erotic role playing means as far as what the words mean, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in action in game.
They really talk about
Like,
that?
do people
Worse
actually do? Do
than-
people actually have like type sex in game?
yes, they do.
Yeah,
Oh my God. So people talk about they're going to like poke something in another person's hole?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the role play is like if you were writing a novel, if you were writing a short story or something. So where you would write what you're gonna do or what's happening in that moment, and you send that out. They read it and then they reply with what's going to happen next, and it's a back and forth of role play, and you're kind of creating a story. Of course, it's
So-
an erotic story.
This is not like Got Milk story that I get from doing an achievement.
Got milk story. What?
The books from High Mountain.
The book from
Those
High
little
Mountain.
short stories with pictures.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like the romance book from ICC. Yeah. It's kind of like that. But
And
So I
it's
got to worry about a Tauren role playing with a night elf.
they do it. Well, they're not going to do it cross faction like that, Horde and Alliance. But yeah, I mean that's how they talk to each other and stuff. So it does happen, in the darker corners of WoW. But
What are the darker corners of WoW? I need to know these things.
like I'm saying, just stay away from Goldshire. That's the worst
Well,
place to go.
Goldshire's Alliance. I can't get over there.
Well, and,
Even if you're Horde, I've seen Horde people go over there. Now, as far as Horde goes, don't go to I would say Brill or what was that Falcon Wing Square. And if you do go to Silvermoon, there are a couple inns there that look kind of
Like a brothel?
like
Do
a
they have
brothel.
like cross
Don't go there.
transmogs where the Alliance and the Horde can like cross faction do it?
No.
actually, they do.
Oh.
Wait, they do? Wait,
Yeah, there's.
Tell me
I'll
these
explain that in a
things.
minute, but first, I want to tell Rye how to go partake in this. If you really, really want to know,
I don't want to
I-
know.
you don't want to know. You're
I
asking
need to know these things. I'm a nurse.
Make sure Horisha knows how to do it. So here's how to do it. You make a silly little human rogue. You work on it until it gets to it gets stealth, and it's got to be a male human rogue. And we're not going to talk about any connotations of that.
Why male versus female?
Shush you! I just told you I'm not talking.
I'm
about it.
asking.
And I explained it. I ain't talking about that. I'll let Rye explain that.
He's just
Oh
trying-
my
Get this-
God. Is it poop in the chute?
No.
You take this silly little rogue and you stealth him up to Goldshire because everything will kill him, right? And you go hop into the inn at Goldshire. Go upstairs and there'll be people laying in bed upstairs, even on Proudmoore. It's like what's
And
that?
you
Proud's doing?
stealth poop them? What?
No,
No.
he-
You
What do
gotta
you
get-
do?
he's just saying watch it.
You got to have stealth so you can get to Goldshire. Because
Oh my
everything-
God. So this is like voyeurism.
Pretty much. But the thing is that most of those people that are on, like, especially if you're on Moonguard or Windrunner Accord, you're not going to see what they're saying because they don't use Say Chat. They use an app that is an RP app that they can, write their entire paragraphs and things, and it's, generated to that other person.
Here's
Because
the other
on WoW, there's only a certain amount of letters or characters that you can put into a message.
The other thing
Okay.
is that everybody doing that is exactly like me. They're a bunch of old fat guys pretending to be girls.
Well, and that's what, our audio guy was talking about, is that there was a guild, there was like a troll guild, and it was all trolls, but the guild master was like a male troll, and everybody else had to be female. And he was like RPing with them, ERPing with them. But all the female troll people said that they had to be from the ages of 12 to 20. And you already know that there were probably mostly guys, posing as females on the internet.
Oh,
You
my.
mean the character age or the person in real life's age?
No, their character's age.
Okay.
And I mean, if
So
they got
it's like a guild. It's like a guild full of candies pretending to be 13-year-old female trolls.
Harem.
That's
Like
not
quite
true.
quite literal trolls. They were literal trolls.
Have mercy.
I would never play a troll. It would have to be a very slut-mogged up, redheaded blood elf. Sorry.
And I mean, like, the ERP thing, you only learn that kind of stuff from playing like other games that aren't 3D MMOs like WoW. If you're playing like paper MMOs and stuff like that, there are a lot of web-based MMOs and stuff that they are strictly RP. So you have to come up with a story for your character, be that character. And when you talk in complete paragraphs of, an RP. So a lot of that.
It's like a slutty version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in game. Okay.
I'm done.
Candy Graham is a hot, blonde cheerleader in real life.
Why don't you have red hair?
Because nobody wants to talk to a redhead. They don't have any souls.
What?
Oh,
You just
Christ.
said redhead, knucklehead.
I have red hair. That's offensive.
Well,
I've
let's.
got red hair when I diet drunk.
I'm rarely speechless. This is one of those times. We're going to move on from ERP. I wanted to quickly cover just two things that are kind of currently going on in WoW. One, there was an announcement this week by Blizzard, and they've made this official. There's been a lot of speculation over what's going to happen with the artifact weapon appearances once we move to BFA. Will we be able to obtain them? Will we not be able to obtain them? And Blizzard has gone on record as confirming the only artifact appearance that you will not be able to obtain once we move on to BFA, that's going to be the Mage Tower Challenge. So everybody, save up those nether shards and work on your Mage Towers.
Crap.
But all of the rest of them, the three others on the Mage Tower quest line, like the other three appearances, like the Heroic Kill, Jaden Kill, and all of that, once you get the first appearance, you can get the rest of them. For the other appearances, they should all still be obtainable, like even if you haven't done Balance of Power, for example. They should be obtainable once you've moved into BFA. So,
Yeah. Just a note on that. Like I got this site up this morning. It's account wide. So when I got on my Druid on that second tier, it was already unlocked. So as long as you have the achieve, it'll be unlocked.
So basically,
those-
I've got to do the Mage Tower in order to fix that.
yes, you need the Mage Tower done if you don't want to lose out the chance on getting the appearance.
Shit.
Also, in this week in game, there is going to be a little mini event in Thousand Needles, the boating event. It's like a 3-day take out a boat and swim on the river or whatever down. I don't think there's any real achievements for doing it. It's just one of those like mini events that Blizzard throws in. I know we've got the Midsummer Fire Festival coming up in 2 weeks. That's on the docket as well. But that's current news. And then I wanted to kind of end the session today with something that Lucy was really excited about. I know they've been producing these mini comics has it been every week, Lucy, that they've been putting these out?
It's been every week. Just
Yeah.
like Tuesday, they come out with one.
So there was a new one today. Did you want to talk about it?
Sure. I mean, and if anybody else wants to chime in, go ahead as well. Just to start with the first one, I think not everybody in here has started with the first one. But the first one goes kind of with Jaina Proudmoore, and what we know from the beginning of Legion, she kind of just storms off in a hissy fit and doesn't want to help us. So it kind of goes into what she's been doing the whole time, and just kind of a summation of it. She has not neglected the Legion invasion. She's been kind of, lone wolfing it and just like killing demons on her own. But she's still sulking about Theramore and Garrosh, destroying the city and, killing her love, Caligos, and stuff like that. And she decides that she wants to finally go home, which is Coltiris. And when she gets there, she kind of, hides. She's in a robe. She doesn't want to be seen, and she just wants to see the state of the of Kultiris, since they've been out of everything, even the Legion invasion in Sargeras, pretty much almost trying to kill the planet. And she just tries to see like the power imbalance going on between her mother and another faction in Kultiris, which are the Ashvane family. And she knows that there's a little fighting going on in between those two, and so she tries to spark an alliance with another sect of Kultirans, unbeknownst to her mother. So that's what she's kind of been planning the whole time. That was that first one.
Isn't she a Dreadlord, though?
No, she's not a Dreadlord.
Are you sure?
Yes, contrary to popular belief, she's not a Dreadlord. She's not going to be evil. Okay, she's not going to be.
She's just an Elsa ripoff.
She's not going to be a raid boss or anything like that. She's trying to save her home nation. So, but the second one is called Magni, and it's about Magni Bronzebeard, which we all know. He was the Dwarf King, and then he turned into the Diamond King or whatnot, and now he's the speaker for Azeroth. Well, the guy that wrote this one, it doesn't really further the story of BFA or anything coming up. It kind of just shows you the parallel between Magni and the way he speaks with Azeroth, the pain that she's going through after Sargeras plunged the sword into the planet and stuff like that. And it kind of parallels that with what he experienced with Mora, his daughter, back when she was growing up, how he kind of neglected her, didn't really listen to her. She was, always in pain or always in, depressed about something. And then she ends up getting taken, and ends up being pretty much a slave to, what's his name? Emperor Tharisin in Blackrock Depths. So, he kind of loses all ties with his daughter, and then he ends up getting frozen. And so it kind of just shows you the parallel between how he's got to listen to the planet that's dying and help her out, where he failed his daughter when she was younger. And now she's grown up and she's already the faction leader of the Dark Iron Dwarves, who are going to come and play in BFA. So she's already on her own. She's made her own, her own stand for herself.
Didn't we kill her once?
No, you don't have to kill her. That's just an optional thing in that dungeon. And I think
take the option.
Well, they made it to where you have to kill her, I think now, but before it was an option when you went through there. And I think it was largely a horde thing, because if you played ally, you didn't kill her. There was actually a quest to save her. So
I would have still killed her.
I know you, but she's a pretty good priest. I mean, Rhino, I think she's in the class hall somewhere.
She is in the class hall. I have to turn in quests to her when they do when I get the missions to go kill a boss in Taurus.
Yeah, so she's largely in the class hall, which I have something to talk about that too when I mentioned the excerpt from Before the Storm. But anyways, the third comic is it just came out today, and it's about the Windrunner Sisters. And this is the first time in 10,000 years that all of the Windrunner Sisters have been together, and they kind of band together to go retake their home, Windrunner Spire, that's in the Ghostland, which you can go visit that in game. And there's actually a quest to reclaim it and kill all the zombies there. And that's how, incidentally, that Rye was talking about earlier, is that from a drop off the zombies, you'll get the pendant that you have to take back to Sylvanas. She'll remember, old times back in her home and stuff like that, and she'll give you the Lament of the Highborn trinket or toy.
And she looks like the Joker from Batman.
Yeah.
Bad
So
makeup job.
no. So the guy. I mean, the story in the third one is really good. The third comic is really good, but the illustration, I'm not a real big fan of it, just because that's not. I mean, it looks a little bit more cartoony than you would think of Sylvanas and Verisa and Ilaria, but especially Tyrellian, he looks like he just went through a wood chipper.
I would say he looks good in the comic, but in the game, he looks like he went through. He's made of like a ball of lumpy clay in comparison to what the comic, like lumpy, dirty clay, is what he looked like in the game compared to the comic.
Yeah, it looks like he lost a fight with a weed eater, but
Is that your buddy in the wood chipper there?
yeah. But anyways, they kind of band together to have this meeting. And it starts out where Tyrellian and Ilaria are going back to Stormwind. Before they even get to talking to Anduin or anything, she kind of skips out through the Void Portal to go meet up with Verisa in Eversong Woods. And she doesn't let Anduin know that she's going to meet up with Sylvanas because, by now, I think the comic is going to take place a little bit in between before the storm. So at that point, he's probably a little peeved at her. So, she doesn't tell him, and she goes off to this meeting. And anyways, the sisters meet up. First time they met up in 10,000 years. They're going to go retake their home. And so Sylvanas, shows them the way. Of course, Illyria thinks that Eversong Woods is unchanged and it's still beautiful and everything like that. And Sylvanas turns her around and shows her the Ghostlands. And, of course, she didn't know anything about that because she wasn't around when Arthas brought the Scourge through. So anyways, they set off to go take back their home and everything like that. They play a little game kind of like you would play on a car ride.
Spin the bottle?
No, like
Candy, hold on. On what planet do family members on a car ride play spin the bottle?
Well, when you're thinking about three hot chicks in there, hanging out together.
They're sisters.
I knew he was thinking about the three hot chicks thing.
That's something worse than that.
Okay. Anyways, so they go through this. They play a little game. They each tell two truths and a lie, and they agree not to tell each other what the lie is until they reclaim their home and everything like that. Which you'll have to go through it because I don't remember each and every single one. I'd have to look it up again. But the main thing from it is that Illyria and Verisa, their truths were that they were happy to be together as sisters again. They saw a future for their race, for their people, and things like that. And their lie was that, Illyria, the void that she's taken over is kind of a burden. It's not a gift of power. It's a burden she's taken on, but she's controlling it. She still hears the whispers of the void, which that's a little scary to me, but we'll see how that goes in BFA. And then Verisa, what was her lie? Rye, do you remember?
I think it was. Oh my God, no, I don't remember. Whoops.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think her lie was
Ronan. It was Ronan.
Yes, her lie was that she's gotten over the death of Ronan, and she obviously hasn't. She's still sulking about that. And then Sylvanas' lie, she just neglects to tell you, but you can kind of infer from the end of the comic, when everybody leaves, they've retaken their home, and her Dark Rangers hop down and say, War Chief, you never gave the signal, and she tells them, now's not the right moment and whatnot. Her lie was that she was not going to betray them, which is was her lie, because she says sooner or later they'll all serve me. So she has a plan that she's going to get everybody to serve under her, even if they're alive or dead. And that's kind of her whole theme in BFA is she's wanting to kill everybody and resurrect them under her leadership.
Can we have a war chief that's not a bad guy for a change? It would be really nice if we had just someone who wasn't like constantly backstabbing people next to them.
Well, they killed him in Legion.
I know. Yeah, the good one we got killed. Where can Thrall come back?
No.
Thrall is retired because Chris Metzen stepped down, so they retired Varian and they retired Thrall.
Besides, Thrall was wimpy.
I guess we'll have to see what's coming in the future for the Windrunner Sisters.
Yeah. as far as the excerpt goes, it real quick. It's just Anduin going to the Netherlight Temple, which Rai, you know, that's your class hall, and Try, that's your class hall as well. He goes in there, and Anduin has always been the one that he wants to unite the factions, unite all the races, and things like that. And Legion is the closest we've gotten to a unified world. So when he goes into the Netherlight Temple, he sees every single race, and they're all priests, but they're not there, you know, bickering over which faction they are and things like that. They're there based on the fact that they're a priest first. And that's what they're there to do, is to, you know, heal, you know, the bask in the light and things like that. They all believe the same thing. They're just from different parts of the world.
Well, I've never been healed by an alliance priest.
Anyways, so you know, he wants it to be unified like that. He's, you know, a little kind of skeptical and appalled to see Forsaken there and things like that, because, you know, again, this is before the storm. He's getting a little peeved at the Forsaken. He's a little uneasy about that, you know, kind of ties there and stuff, which that goes into the battle for Lordaeron, but that's more information later. And he meets Archbishop Alonzus Fowl, which I think is in your class hall too, right?
Yes, Alonzus. Yeah, he is. He's
Okay.
a follower too. You can send him out on missions.
Okay, Alonzus Fowl is one of the most renowned priests in the entire lore. I mean, he's the one that founded the Silver Hand. He's the one that trained Uther the Lightbringer. I mean, he did it all. He started everything with the light. And then when he died, he was resurrected as a Forsaken, and, you know, now he serves Sylvanas, which Anduin he doesn't like, but, you know, he agrees that they both, you know, are priests, and they both believe the same thing and what they're trying to do by defeating the Legion and things like that. So that was just kind of that. There is that all these factions
are coming.
Yeah, all these factions are there and everything like that, but you can see the uneasiness. But they all know that they're priests. They're, you know, they're all the same class. They all believe the same thing. But because of their factions, it's going to be torn.
Oh, well, it sounds like there's going to be more drama to come. So that's exciting. We'll have you keep an eye out for that. But we are at the end of our hour. We want to thank everybody for hanging out with us and listening. And I'd like to thank this week's panel, which will probably be next week's panel. That's Try, Horisha, Candy, and Lucy. We'd also like to thank Rasputin for doing our sound and helping us with getting this set off the ground. Hopefully we'll be back next week with another episode. And for anybody that would like to join a cool-ass guild on the Horde side, once again, we are the Icecream Bikini Girls on Horde for Proudmoore. We always welcome new members. We love new friends, as long as you're not a dick. No dicks, no assholes.
What?
Yeah, we have Candy, it's
like
enough.
That's your staple.
We like happy drunk people.
Like Horisha.
That's right. That's your staple, though, right? Dicks and assholes.
No.
We made it all the way to the end before he made a gay joke. That's super fun.
That's good.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for us. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you guys next time.
Good night, y'all.
Laters.
See ya.